Okay, Martha, I'm filming this for you for the benefit of your being able to see where the property is. I'm going 550 south out of Montrose, and what I'm going to do is start recording at the turnoff, and when I turn the camera back on, and then what I'll do is speed it up so you don't have to watch the whole drive, but we'll give you an idea of where we're at. So we're just going south on 550. Okay, we're coming up on our turn here. I'm going to zoom in all the way so that you can kind of see.
Turn right onto Oncomgagray Road, then turn left onto Frontage Road.
Whoop. This is our turnoff right here, and I almost missed it. It's a new road.
Turn left onto Frontage Road, then turn right onto Government Springs Road.
This is a new road they put in for the gravel pits that they were installing nearby, and they put a new frontage road in, so this is a new way in according to Don. Not that I knew what the old way was, so. Okay.
Turn right onto Government Springs Road.
So I'm going to turn right on Government Springs Road. I'm going to try to keep the camera straight, but I've got it zoomed all the way in. I apologize. Oh, they're little horsies. You'll like that. Keep in mind that on this road are a lot of homes that you may not want to have around us, but that's the trade-off. To have something where we don't have covenants as well, preventing our fifth wheel. So there are some trashy places. Not a lot, but a few. Apologize for the bumpiness.
Continue on Government Springs Road for 3/4 of a mile.
Turn right onto V66 trail.
So these would be the mailboxes that would house ours.
Turn right onto V66 trail.
Here at the corner of V66 trail. This is our road here. So there are the mailboxes. And this is where it turns gravel. So
Continue on V66 trail for 3 miles.
So we got 3 miles of dirt road or gravel road maintained by the HOA. And it's washboardy, but it's not awful right now. I don't know when it, if it stays great the whole time, but right now it's not terrible. Something that, taking a fifth wheel up here slowly, I don't think is a problem. Whoa, deer.
You're watching the camera and see a deer in the camera. Slowly climbing.
And this is called Deerview Estates. Aptly named. But as you can tell, they're not terribly tight on restrictions here. There's good things and bad things about that, but I think for our purpose, mainly good. Most of the people around have decent looking places. Some don't, most do. you can see, the views are getting stellar. I would say that our vehicles will get some rock dings up here on this road. I mean, unless you're going 10 miles an hour. If you're going even as low as 20, it's going to throw up rocks. So it's a nice place, and they've got my buggy out front. This is the boundary of our property right here. That is the corner, the bottom corner. Directly across is that abandoned house that it's in bad shape. I'll show you when we get up there. This is all our property there.
You've arrived.
So you have these abandoned double wides across the street that are eyesores, but it's not something we're going to see from our place. That is just the eyesore beyond the trees. So this is our place here. This is our little road. We'll have to improve this some, I think, in order to get fifth wheel up here. Okay, so one thing I really like is the fact that we do have this line of trees that goes all the way through this area that will kind of block us from the road. That is nice. So, all right, so I'm going to walk to the corner, the upper corner here. I have a little cleanup to do. It's been abandoned for a while. Okay, this looks like this is kind of more of an abandoned drive here, but it does have gravel on it. Looks like maybe they were thinking about putting their drive here at one time. So this is looking from the north. Let's see, which corner am I on? Well, I know which corner I'm on. I'll show you on the map. I think it's the northwest corner is where we're at. And I'm facing southeast right now, or that's due south. And then that is southeast. And that's kind of the best view is southeast. Southeast is going to give us Sneffels as well as, so Sneffels is there. And then coming back around, we have the Cimarrons. So anything from the view from southeast corner to due south is going to be stellar. And then you see how flat it is up here on the top for building a structure. So right here where the car is sitting over to this way is really nice and flat. On the map in the bottom corner, I'm showing you the dot is indicating where I'm standing. Right now I'm facing east, and then, I'm facing north. And then now I am coming around to face east. Let's do east. And then you can see southeast right there is where the views of the Cimarrons is stellar. And then on around San Juan view. And I'm facing due south right now. And then I'm coming around to due west. And this is BLM land. This is where I'm showing the elevation from Google Earth now at the bottom left. And that's the way I'm facing is west right there. Okay, so I'm just now at the edge of the building area. This is the higher part of the property. So there's the dog pen thing, whatever, goat pen, whatever you want to call it. But now all of this lower bottom area from like right there all the way around, you can see we go, see where the telephone pole is out there. I don't know if you can see how, I'm going to try to zoom in, see if you can see any better. So the telephone pole that's down there would be the edge of the property. So that's telephone pole. That, I think those are poles are right on the road down there. So you can see how far the property goes down there. So if we wanted to have livestock, I guess we could. It'd be watering, and I don't think we don't have water rights, so that probably wouldn't work out. But anyway, that's what we've got. Okay, I'm only about halfway down right now to the middle part of the property, and this looks like prime deer hiding country here. This is in the middle of the west edge of the property. I'm looking back from the southwest corner. I'm looking back toward the north, and then around to the east, right there, and then to the southeast there. And that's due south, and then again BLM to due west. This house that's up there is their property line is pretty close to where they have their house built. There's the corner of our property right there. Now I am indicating where I'm at on the map with the dot. I'm about halfway down the southern fence line, about, I guess, 100 feet on the inside of the property, and then I'm looking back up toward the car, which is in the northwest corner. So that'd be the northwest corner fence line, and then comes down here, and then that's the southwest corner. So west, that's BLM land beyond there. And then looking back around, that higher ground, you can see where the car's sitting, that's where the barn would be, and the RVs. And then coming back around here, and you can see there's a mesa view if we have a second story on the barn. You can't see it over the trees unless we have a second story. But if we had a second story, we would have full 180-degree views almost. Well, not almost, we would. Go all the way from north to south on the east side of that. Okay, so you can see the road out there, right there. That's the road, and then that's the corner right there of the property. And I'm not quite there, I'm about halfway down. I'm going to keep walking the property. I wanted to walk kind of off the property line to see what's in the middle here. Just kind of scrubby. Lots of deer sign. They've been bedding in here big time, so we will have lots of deer. I didn't see any elk poop, but maybe it's just not the right time of the year for them to be at this level. I'm in the southeast corner now, looking back. I'm about 50 feet off this edge and about 75 feet off the other edge. Right here in the corner, you can see up there where the car is. It's got some trees down here, just some scrubby trees and a few little pines, and then over there I found a deer antler. So fresh deer sign all throughout here. So I'm on the east border now, looking back toward the west, up the hill to where the car is in the corner. You can't see it because of the trees, which is nice. And then looking due north. Okay, this is kind of in the middle of the property. I'm showing you on the map now where this is located. Bigger trees that have been felled, and they're dried up and ready to be burned, but we got lots of firewood we could use for a while. So again, that's the eastern border there. You can see the telephone pole. That is that's where the road is. So this is kind of on the middle or maybe northeast area of the property, but there's real thick trees in here, really thick. Lots of cedars. Looks like they're little pinions and junipers. Well, from looking just from above down, okay, I'm looking south, coming back around, but looking just from above, you think it's pretty flat, but this terrain has a lot of features to it. It's got nice little dips, little gullies, lots of little treed areas for deer. I mean, there's fresh deer poop everywhere in here, so they definitely spend the night in here. And then in addition to that, we have plenty of rocks. I've noticed a lot of rocks that we could build our retaining walls and things with, and they're easy to get to. the roof of the car up there. So that's the car up there on top of the hill. A little bit of an incline, but down here, here's this wash, and there's this kind of weeds, straw looking stuff. But if you look close, the deer have been bedding in here by the hundreds, it looks like. I wouldn't be surprised, as many as I saw last night. So the deer have just really bedded down in this area. So I would imagine this is kind of their hanky-panky place. I'm at the northeast corner looking due south. And you can see this gully, but then you can see on around, that's looking south, then southwest, and then west, and then up the hill there would be west, just due west, and that's toward the RV spot and the barn site, unless we decide we want it somewhere else. And then that is the fence post and the road there on the north edge. I am looking due east. I'm about at the middle of the eastern property boundary is indicated on the map. I'm breathing hard because it's been a tough hike. And I've become a lowlander. South facing. West facing, and so right up there would be the barn site, right beyond those trees. So we're probably not quite halfway down the northern property boundary. Okay, I'm back up toward the area where we would put the RV. It's got to be really cleaned up. I mean, this is filthy. This is nasty, nasty, nasty. There's just junk everywhere. But that's a Saturday afternoon project. I wouldn't rely on any of the plumbing that's in the ground other than maybe the septic, and I think we ought to have that checked out. I don't know what all this wood was for here, what he was using that for. That'd be a nice jack block right there. That's solid. But yeah, this is all going to have a lot of TLC here. Oh, there's a Fried Eddy. Yay! If you need a Fried Eddy, we've already got one. This looks like they just trashed it. And, you know what, there's a lot of PVC pipe laying around. I think they used it as conduit. Matter of fact, they did. I can see it there. I would not trust that wiring at all. At all. So they've got all kinds of crap in here. So all this would have to be cleaned out, but this would clean up nicely. Yeah, and I would want to have the septic checked out. I don't know where it goes and that kind of thing. Let's see what kind of service they've got here. Yeah, I can't tell if that's 50 amp. It says 100 amp. Okay, so they got a 100 amp service here, it looks like. That's a 100 amp breaker anyway. So we know from the past that's not always indicative of what's really here, but I would think that probably is true. It's like a 100 amp breaker and then 215 amps, so he probably was just running just the bare minimum. But we would need to put in a 50 amp service, 2 50 amp services. All right, now to this cistern thing. Looks like it was installed by Delta Precast. It is a sealed cistern. The problem is that the pipe that was here broke off at some point, and when you look down in there, there is water down in the cistern. So I have no doubt that that's probably not usable. That'd have to be pumped out. So we need to get somebody in here who knows about these things, because I don't know anything about cisterns. There's the shed with the fridge and the old plastic cistern thing. Lots of wood there for burning. And again, we're at the camping area and I'm looking out over the valley. Okay, the old well here is obviously just for decoration, so that would be, we use that as firewood because it is not something I want to keep. And there's no hole over there, so Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Think of the barn up there on that little plateau. I don't know if you can see the little plateau. I think you can. Okay, the barn up there on that little plateau. And then down here, we create like a gravel walkway, at least at first. Maybe one day it's concrete, and then that's where the RVs would go, is over there, where that little mound of dirt is, right where the electrical service is. We'll just create 2 RV spaces somehow over there, and then right down here on this promontory, and still elevated, not as high as where the barn is, but we would put our palapa right there, so that we can look out over this gorgeous, gorgeous scenery. So then this area down here would be kind of our permanent patio area with the fire pit and everything. And that would give us a spectacular view every night. That's what I'm thinking. So patio area right here, coming back around, RVs around that kind of little scrubby bush there. We'll probably get rid of the one in the middle. It looks like it's dead. This tree is dead. We'd have to get rid of that one. But I think that would be our best bet, is to put the RVs in this area right here, the barn right there on the top of that promontory, get rid of that nasty looking fence there. We don't need a dog out here. There are too many cactus. We need probably a couple of cats to keep the mice and the field rats and the mice and the chipmunks down. I'm glad I kept walking around, because I'm walking in this little area next to where the RVs would be parked, and in these trees, here's a little koi pond that they built at some point. That's hilarious. Anyway, so then they built a little tiny path for mice, I guess. I don't know. I'm a little bit too wide for that path.